Most of the time when we think of salad, we think of lettuce and tomatoes. And to be honest, there's a very large part of the year when neither one of those are at their peak. So we need to look more at some other kinds of vegetables that you can use as salad. So today I'm doing a celery salad. Now I've got 4 cups of celery that I've washed up and sliced fairly thin, not excessively, but I did slice them on a bias. Notice I've put the leaves in here too. There's nothing wrong with them. They add a lot of flavor. There's no point in throwing them away, so just make sure that you get it all cleaned up well, you get it dried well, because we want to put a dressing on here, and if you've got it still damp, then the dressing is not going to stick to this. It's just going to slide to the bottom of the bowl. So let's make that dressing. I've got 1/4 of a cup of olive oil, and again, use the best olive oil you can get. And then to that, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard. And it's going to act as the emulsifier here, as well as add a lot of flavor to it. So let's see how much of that I can actually get off the spoon. And then I've also got 2 tablespoons of, normally would be fresh lemon juice, and when I do the shows, I have to bring things from somewhere else, obviously. So this is actually pickle juice because I forgot the lemon juice. But some kind of an acid, you could use a vinegar. Fresh lemons, if you're going to use lemon juice, those would be awesome. Teaspoon of celery seed to reinforce the flavor that you're getting from the celery itself. And then 1/4 of a teaspoon of kosher salt. I'm just going to whisk these together and make a nice emulsion with it. Now the thing you want to do with a celery salad, because it's going to take longer for the flavors to be absorbed here than it would to just have them on the outside. So I want some of this flavor to actually go into the celery. So if you're doing this at home, this is a great salad to make up 1 hour or 2 hours ahead of time. If you're going to church and you're going to have it after that, make it before you go. You can make it in the morning before you go to work, but it gives time for everything to blend together. So we're going to combine those together. And where did I leave my handy spatula here? And we're just going to mix those together a little bit, just enough to get it coated. And then to give it a little bit more crunch, give it a little different kind of texture, I've got 1 sharp apple. Kind of a sharp tasting apple as opposed to a really sweet one. And the dressing that we've got in here with the acid there, the oil, this will coat that and prevent it from turning brown, so you don't have to worry about that when you come back in a while. The celery seed makes it look really pretty, I think. And then the next thing we're going to add to this is about 4 ounces of cheese. And I've tried to cut it so that the pieces would be about the same size as the apple pieces that we put in earlier. Use a cheese such as a fresh mozzarella or even a regular mozzarella. You just don't want it grated. I'm actually using provolone in this one, sort of semi-hard cheese of some version. You could use cheddar. That to me would be more of a last resort. You could also do something if you wanted to kind of mix cultures, since this has got more of an Italian base. You could use something like Swiss would also work, or Emmental. The sky's the limit. This would normally sit for at least an hour for those flavors to get a chance to blend. I'm going to go ahead and serve it up this time. Just remember, you're going to cover it, put it in the refrigerator, and come back for it after at least an hour, so it has time for the flavors to come together and give you something that's tremendously different than a tomato and lettuce salad, but equally flavorful. Last thing we're going to do on this one, just to top it off, I've got some toasted walnuts, and we're going to sprinkle those over the top. And this is going to, again, give us a little bit different flavor. You could also, if you didn't have walnuts, if you had hazelnuts or pecans, any one of those is going to work equally well. This is celery salad. I think if you try it, you're going to be really impressed. It's going to pull you away and give you a little bit different perspective on what a salad should be at the dinner plate. For Oklahoma Gardening, this is Barbara Brown.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.